Do you understand how slip drifts work in Mario Kart Wii? Well, maybe you think you do, but after failing slip after slip after slip, you start to question whether you know anything about this game at all. My name is Vincent, and this is my brief analysis of same direction slip drifts in Mario Kart Wii. But first, I want to clearly define what I mean by a slip drift. In this context, I am referring to the combination of inputs where the player is holding R to drift, releases R and performs a wheelie, and then presses R again to rehop with some gaps in between. It is these two gaps that are the subject of today's video. The first gap, after initially releasing R, I will define as the wheelie delay, measured in frames. This is the amount of frames I will wait before initiating a wheelie. The second gap, after wheeling, I will define as the rehop delay. This is the amount of frames I will wait before pressing R to initiate the rehop. And so the question I sought out to answer is, what combinations of wheelie delays and rehop delays allow you to perform a same direction slip drift? To very briefly put some context to these values, initiating a wheelie while you're still holding R would be a wheelie delay of -1 and would result in no wheelie output. An insta-wheelie, or first frame wheelie, would be a wheelie delay of 0, and so on. In addition, hopping immediately after starting your wheelie is a rehop delay of 0, followed by a rehop delay of 1, and so on. Using Dolphin Emulator with TAS input, I am able to enter in the exact input I want on every frame, allowing me to test any combination of wheelie delay and rehop delay that I want. For the purposes of this research, I settled on testing 5 different wheelie frame delays and 12 different rehop frame delays, giving a total of 60 slip drift combinations. And so, we return to Daisy Circuit, where I look to answer just that. I'll be putting the wheelie and rehop delay values on the screen for each slip drift so you can see what each combination looks like. At the end, I will be using my own judgment to determine if it produced a valid slip drift for each attempt. So without further ado, let's get slippin'. To summarize these results, I will fill out the table I showed earlier with either slip, maybe, or no slip. I ended up using my own judgment for these categories as there's no set-in-stone way to determine a slip or not. I found the results in this table to be fairly interesting because of how narrow the wheelie delay range is. I didn't expect there to be only 2 frames available for timing your wheelie input. Also take note of the number in the upper left of the table. This is a third parameter in which I am still unsure of its impact on slip drifts. For this particular test, I used a stick position of 175, which looks something like this. However, I did end up performing this test with 2 other stick positions, just to see the results. With 60 attempts for each stick position, we end up with something like this. I don't think this is nearly enough data to suggest any significance, but it does initially appear that the tighter you hold the stick, the further up the slip values move, or in other words, the earlier you have to hop to get a slip drift. Anyway, that is all I have to cover for this video. I hope it was as informative to you as it was to me. Have a great rest of your day, and thanks for the view.